course, getting shots off.
That's a
So
very
we're going to
good
move
point.
into our next game. For Young Money, Cash Money Billionaires, Drunken Boy is coming out, who is the other original founder of the team. Drunken Boy is also 18. He's a high grandmaster Canadian Terran, and he's currently not playing for any professional team other than the fun one that we're seeing here tonight. In Wings of Liberty, he played Protoss, but then decided to switch to Terran. He is apparently notorious for his Hellbat usage in early Heart of the Swarm.
Mhm.
He qualified for the WCS Challenger League by defeating X5 Pig and Root Cats, and competes in many local Canadian lands whenever he has the opportunity to. You can follow him at Drunkenboy SC2. I will post that into chat.
Also, take a moment to visit the link I am posting in chat as well. That is a link to our Reddit thread. Upvote that so everyone can see it on the front page of StarCraft Reddit, hopefully, and get a lot of people in here to see the amazing match we're going to have tonight between StarCraft Ascension and YMCMB. But without any further ado, I think we're ready to go into Game 2.
Let's do it.
All right, and up in the upper left-hand corner of Belshir Vestige, it's going to be our Protoss champion from the last game. His name is StarCraft Ascension Lightning.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, representing the Red Trunks and YMCMB, it is Drunken Boy.
He's representing Red Trunks?
Red Trunks, representing the color of his choice.
I'm sorry, but when you say that, it just so much reminds me of Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Dragon Ball Z with Trunks. I don't know why, but that just popped in my head.
all right. Well,
Definitely missed that show.
showing your nerdiness. I think that they've been remaking it, cutting out a lot of the filler bits that they had in the original show, but I don't actually know that to be true.
Were they... I know the first movie was a total bomb, but didn't they have something else in production coming out to go along with that?
I don't think so. Usually when a movie does so terribly that people get fired for it, you don't see sequels to that.
Yeah, I didn't. I liked it only because I was a huge fanboy, not because it was high quality. Although that reminds me, I should go out and buy that, because that's definitely one that I should have. Speaking of how terrible it is, I should definitely have that.
I'm sure you can find it for $1 or $2 at some bin bargain sale.
Yep, so we've got our first TVP of the night, so it is going to be Drunken Boy versus Lightning. It's like one gas going down for Drunken Boy, so it's going to preclude him from a Reaper most likely, as that... I'm sure he's going to have enough gas right away, but it's going to be close. Might be just close enough to get a Reaper out first. But Lightning going to be going for double gas right away. Likely Stargate is the most popular build we've seen in PvT. A lot of the times even Proxy to get those Oracles out quick and do a ton of damage, especially with the Mothership Core.
I have a very important update here. Swashbuckler in chat is informing that there is a new Dragon Ball Z animated movie, so you can check that out and relive your nerdy childhood with Mountain Dew and cheesy poofs.
Absolutely. That would be a Mountain Dew and cheese poofs.
Only in Japan, Swashbuckler. Way to get our hopes up and dash them. Only for the hardest of core, then.
Talking about a tease. Well, if it's in Japan, you know it'll be on the internet somewhere.
Yes. We do see that Reaper coming out, and it is going to clean up that probe that was getting a scout off.
Yeah, that probe is not going to be allowed to get out. It looks like Cybernetics Core is going to finish, so we're going to see what is going to be the follow-up from Lightning. Stalker coming out now, being chrono boosted, so we're going to want to get that pressure on with the Stalker. Stalker's so good early game, especially with the Reaper coming. He knows the Reaper's out, so he's got to get something against that. Not getting the Mothership Core, so it's got to be a Stalker, because he knows that's going to hit his base here soon. But that also prevents him from getting quite as much of his tech out as quick, spending the gas on the Stalker and the Mothership Core.
And that Stalker popped just about at the same time the Reaper made it into the base, so great timing on the starting of that.
Oh, is he going to... Oh, he does get the last shot off to kill that Reaper, so that Reaper is not going to be able to go to the health department to get his healing packs going on. So that will be the only scout he gets. So, unfortunately, Drunken Boy's not going to figure out what is going on beyond that with Mr. Lightning. He does have a SCV on the tower here. So, it's like an expansion out of Lightning now. Mothership Core going to be moving out to do a little bit of poking. But it looks like Drunken Boy is afraid of them Oracles. He's moving a couple Marines to the back. Not that a couple Marines could really do anything against any number of Oracles, but A Widow Mine is coming out, though, to supplement those Marines, though. That definitely will do something against Oracles, but the Stalker
And Drunken Boy, great timing there, getting his supply depot up so that the Stalker is stuck outside. Marines moving forward to chase it away.
Micro definitely your best friend. You can kill a lot of Marines with a single Stalker with any amount of Micro, that is for sure. And of course, Troy is crying foul against Protoss in chat.
There's a good discussion about Dragon Ball Z going on in the chat right now. Good to know that people are appreciating the classics.
I'm glad we mentioned that. There's definitely a lot of fans of that. Speaking of anime, hopefully Gallegation and myself have put out some applications here to do some events coming up. Of course, the always hopeful DreamHack coming up in Bucharest, Poland, and Umicon, a local event here in Michigan and Detroit, actually. So, with fingers crossed, maybe you will see us at one of those. It would be pretty sweet to be at Umicon, because I'm sure there's a lot of Dragon Ball fans there.
Absolutely. We might even be able to meet some of the voice actors. We could get all fanboy when we're not doing any cast. But all this is speculation at this point, and as we have only submitted applications at this point, we haven't actually heard anything. So
Nope.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves too quickly.
Lightning definitely enjoying his sentries. We saw amazing sentry play out of him last game. Looks like he's going for the same thing. 4 sentries at his natural expansion. Nothing in his main yet. Got a cannon going down just in case of anything, but looks like a full medevac is going to be heading across the map to see what it can do.
Those are only Marines in there. A lot of times we see Widow Mines going in with the Marines, but this time it's just the Marines.
I think Drunken Boy was a little bit scared of that Oracle, so he kept that Widow Mine back home in the... Where's it? In the... Yeah, where is it? I don't see it at the moment. It's somewhere.
Drunken Boy really didn't like the positioning that he had there, decided to load back up and get back in his medevac, boosting out. He does not have stim right now, so he's not able to speed those up and try and snipe them something and then get them out.
The Tickle Cannon quite effective at pushing that medevac off for a minute, but the Marines are going to move in, kill that cannon, but the Guardian Shield goes down, or a nice force field there to keep the Marines out, but they're still going to be plunking away at that pylon. But nice, amazing force fields to trap 3 of the Marines.
Incredible.
Looks like he's going to pick those up and get them out of there, though. Only loses 2. Great micro by both players.
Absolutely. Drunken Boy has a really sturdy defense here at the front. He doesn't want to see anything coming in here. Tank, Widow Mine, turret, Marines, just beautiful.
I'm just watching this medevac dance around here as he's trying to just keep it moving to keep that Stalker from killing it. The Stalker nearly did. If he wouldn't have put so much APM into juking that around, it would have been trouble, but it's like a hallucinated Phoenix going out now with that built-up sentry energy to see what Drunken Boy is up to. As +1 attack comes down, tanks coming out, Marines coming out, so it looks like it's going to be a bio-tank mine army, which is pretty darn strong these days for Terran.
Mm-hmm. Swapping out medevacs, getting the full health one, putting a Widow Mine in there, along with 6 Marines, going to go right back on in.
Yeah, it looks like Lightning does have that cannon there, though, so that's going to be not able to get in there and do the huge damage that we've seen some mine drops do sometime, but Lightning opting for double forge upgrades, though, so that's going to be huge if Drunken Boy doesn't catch up. He does only have 1 attack upgrade going down right now, so he's going to notice both of those forges here as he comes in here to scope this out, but now he sees that mine is not going to... Oh, he does find a nice spot there behind the assimilator. It is still in detection range of that cannon, though, so he can see it, but he doesn't have any army up here to do anything about it. That's a nice few probe kills there.
Yeah, got about 4, and look at the sentries and Stalker. Gonna lose that Widow Mine, but
if you look at workers killed, he did get 5 work kills off of that, so that was pretty good positioning there, as we've seen a high level of microplay out of both players so far. But looks like Lightning is going to be getting the necessary upgrades here to deal with the Terran things that he's seen so far. Tanks, Widow Mines, Marines, Zealot Charge going down, attack +1. I'm sorry, attack +2, armor +1. Lots of Zealots, likely going to be moving into Templar here. So see what happens. Third base going down now for Lightning as well, so he's going to be moving into the late mid-game macro style here.
Ghost Academy did just wrap up for Drunken Boy, and he is getting his combat shield and the stim pack, so he's going to try and hastily catch up to his opponent in upgrades.
Third command center going down as well, going to be moving that out at some point. Where is he putting it actually? It's like he's got it at his natural expansion, but he's going to be moving out with his army, clearing out the towers, so Lightning knows he's coming. Were those hallucinated I didn't
Looks
see
like
what those were. They look like they were hallucinated probes from my view, but
I saw they looked like, well, one was an Oracle for sure. I didn't see what the second one was. And now these Marines are going to go in there. Great force fields once again and getting a few kills, but those tanks are lined up and ready to hit.
Yeah, those sentries, not something you want to line yourself up in all that tank fire with. That's an expensive unit to go down, but it looks like there is a drop at the third base of Lightning as well, but Lightning's going to be able to pull back to clean that up as the tanks are the only things left behind, but the tanks are going to be moving forward now as there's some bio to reinforce it. There's a factory flying in the middle too to spot any counterattacks, but the medevac's going to be coming up to give these tanks some range. Lightning trying to position himself here to deal with this. It's still got a lot of force fields, so if these Marines get too far out of position, it's going to be trouble.
And he stemmed it just the right time to get them through that gap before the last force field went down that would have trapped them. This one does trap them, however, and they are stuck behind enemy lines, getting massively cleaned up.
Look at how much damage those tickle cannons are doing. Those tickle cannons and stalkers cleaned up all those Marines.
Yep.
But looks like Lightning's going to be able to hold on here. Zealot charge is done, so if he gets those tanks too exposed, those Zealots can run up there and do a lot of damage without any bio-reinforcement. But he's going to stim up a few Marines to see if he can get anything done at this natural expansion, but there's going to be a lot of Zealots warped in, likely going to get pushed right back as a couple more gateways finish.
Those Marines do try and run back around to get that third base, and oh my goodness, they've managed to take it out, taking heavy losses, but hey, they killed a base.
Yep, Drunken Boy doing a lot of nice two-prong attack in here, keeping this relatively small army of Lightning pulled back. But Lightning now getting his Templar up, so he's going to have those feedbacks at least for dealing with those medevacs. But
and sniping the Mothership Core, loading up into a medevac and running out. He is going to lose the lower health medevac, but
yeah, that was a big play there. But it looks like Lightning is going to be using those Templar to morph immediately into Archons. And Drunken Boy, knowing that he's a bit exposed with only the tanks left and not much bio going to pull back. Lots of Ghosts in productions, 3 right now, plus 2/2 attack and armor upgrades coming down for Drunken Boy. So he is trying his best to catch up in the upgrade department.
But he is very far behind right now as 3-3 is wrapping up for his Protoss opponent. This would be a perfect time for Lightning to move out and do some damage as he has the huge upgrade lead.
Yeah, what Lightning really needs to be doing now is getting a Warp Prism on the field to be doing some Zealot drop, Zealot warp-in harassment to keep peeling his army of Drunken Boy back, and then moving out with his main army, which is super strong now against Drunken Boy. Now Storm is going down. Once Storm finishes, that's going to be the time that he has to strike, or else Drunken Boy is going to be able to catch up here.
That's correct.
Thanks.
There's some big fights going on at the tower. It looks like Lightning is able to continue to keep it, despite Marines stimming forward to try and deal with it.
Thanks, Komenda for the compliment on the overlay. It is pretty nice. Works out well. It's a good thing. Also, just a reminder, since we have that, do give us any feedback in chat. We're paying attention to chat, want to be involved with you guys as well, so if there's something you like or don't like, do let us know. This is the StarCraft 2 Community Team League, so we want to hear from you, know what you like, and make these casts as awesome as possible. As I see, we are at 399 viewers, my friend Gallegation.
Well, hot dog, thank you for joining us tonight.
We're about to cross that record. I think our record is, 410. We have broken a record, gentlemen and ladies. We have broken a record.
We have a big engagement about to come up, and Lightning is moving forward. These Marines are trying to get away, but the tanks aren't even sieged. He's not even going to bother doing it. And he does get those EMPs off, which are doing huge damage to this army.
Yeah, those sentries just become useless paperweights once they're EMP'd, not able to do anything except soak up damage, and we all know they don't have much hit points to be able to do that very effectively. Although we do see some Templar with Storm coming in now along with those Zealots. If he can break into this third base here, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage, but there's a nice supply depot wall along with those rocks. So likely going to have time to pull back before any damage is done. But Drunken Boy's army is caught way out of position. He was moving into the third base of Lightning, so Lightning really going to be able to get some damage done here. Takes out all of those supply depots, makes Drunken Boy pull all of his SCBs back. This command center is going to force to be canceled, and he's going to force a full pull out of this third base. That is huge right now for Lightning.
Absolutely. He was able to kill some SCVs and get a cancel off on that command center, but not really able to kill a whole lot of units themselves, which is probably okay. He's feeling all right because he's able to shut down that base, but there are some ghosts. Oh, and they walk right into a storm.
He has no detection, so these ghosts are going to be able to do a lot of damage here, but
those ghosts got their
Templar.
EMP off on all the Templar,
Yeah,
so all of those go down.
that's definitely the strongest factor of Lightning's army right now is those Templar. So if those can get nullified by a couple money EMPs, that is just going to be awful for Lightning. So he really needs to watch those and keep them in good position. You need some observers here. It looks like he's got one coming out now, but that's going to be a huge factor right now is those observers, especially so he can get the longer vision range and be able to feedback those ghosts.
Drunken Boy now scanning the front, seeing what's going on. The ghosts are moving in first, trying to get some feedbacks. Gets a decent feedback off, nailing a lot of those sentries.
You got a couple
Does kill
nice
off some
snipes
Templar
there. There's a lot of ghosts here, and all these units are bunched up so much. A couple EMPs on those zealots could spell disaster for Lightning. Lightning moves in. Zealots charge up. Oh, nice storm on those Marines, but it's not going to be enough for Lightning. The stim comes down for Drunken Boy, and he thwarts this army of Lightning, trying to Manor Mule down there in the middle, going to be the end, and that is GG for Lightning. GG against Lightning, my bad. That was a crazy game. That was both these players are Grandmaster, obviously, but the micro of them is just incredible. I mean, we saw even early game when there wasn't, using a lot of that APM to do a lot of really interesting micro to save a unit or save something, which snowballs into the late game and really makes a big difference.
It sure does. And those, I mean, the positioning of great units was just fantastic to see. It was the usage of those ghosts really turned the tide of that game for Drunken Boy,
Absolutely.
despite having an upgrade distance.